Hey folks, Steve here, how you doing? Hey, tool review for an older tool. It's 20 volt, it's DeWalt, yay. This is the DCS393. I don't know if you can see that. I'm working in this kind of gut and put back remodel that we're doing, and I am just in the process of creating fire blocking and some other blocking that I needed. And of course I grab this, I make measurements, and I start cutting away. And the reason for this particular tool review is the fact that I realized this is my workhorse. This is my go-to. Let's check it out. Okay, so here it is, the DCS393. 6.5 inch blade. Nothing overly special about this thing. It has the safety trigger lock, and depress that down either side, and it fires up. Without it, nothing happens here. If you want to adjust the deck, higher or lower, to get a thicker or a shallower or deeper cut, right there, just lock that up. And that's what that does. If you look in there, you're actually going to have a gauge and a marking to where you can actually tell how deep approximately the cut will be. You have a bevel cut, goes from 0 to 50. And other than that, there are no frills, no spills, and no chills. There is normally a tool on board here, but this is loosened up over the past several years, and the tool sometimes falls out. It's an Allen key that allows you to actually exchange that blade out. There's a blade lock here to lock in the blade, of course, from rotating while you actually loosen that nut. And that tool, like I said, is right here. It's a metric Allen key. Has a forward handle, so you actually have a really solid grip here. It's very ergonomic as far as how it goes. And what I like most about this, it is, for me, blade left. And so when I am cutting, I can see the blade. This right here, this came with my original kit when I first bought a kit of DeWalt 20 volt years and years and years ago. I have no idea how many years it's been at this point. I've had these things so long. This is a brushed tool. I know they all have brushless now, but this is a brushed tool. That's how old it is for me. But this is my workhorse. I have never replaced. Now, aside from that, the other saws that I do own a 20 volt 7.25 circular saw, but that's blade right, and so I don't use that near as often. Matter of fact, the last time I used it, I was cutting vinyl siding, and so there's still a panel blade on it, and I was using it on a siding cutting table. I also have a rafter saw, which is a 60 volt, but that thing is very heavy duty. When I pull that out, I need it, but for regular work, that's not the go-to saw that I have. And I do have a 60 volt track saw, but that for me is a pretty dedicated tool. If I am breaking down plywood, which is really what that tool is for, I use it. And I use it also if I'm doing like precision cutting and I need like a long taper cut or something like that, because I can really dial it in with the track and know that I'm going to get exactly what I do without freehanding or any other method. So that's it. So this becomes my workhorse right here. And I go to this tool all the time, and so I believe it deserved a review. It's a solid, stable tool, delivers. It has a lot of power. I have rarely bogged this thing down. More times it's the battery going dead than it's the tool actually bogging down. Now, I'm not cutting 6x6s and 8x8s. Doesn't have the depth to do that anyway. But there's a use for it. But man, I am really impressed with this. If this tool were to go down tomorrow, I would actually then be on Amazon or down to Home Depot or Lowe's, and I would find whatever the replacement is for this 6.5, and I would get that. If they have a 7.25 and it's blade left, I would get that instead, because I'm not so hung up on necessarily having the 6.5 inch blade, but I do want blade left. So that's what I would look for. That's what I would get. And of course, I would upgrade to brushless at that point, hopefully getting more power and longer lifetime, rather. The battery's the runtime. All right, well, hey, thanks a lot for sticking with me, folks. If you would, like and subscribe, because why not? It helps me. It doesn't hurt you at all. And it could help you if you're really just like looking at this thing. I've looked at it for 56 years now. Hasn't hurt me yet. Well, at least that's what my therapist tells me. All right, y'all take care. Have a good one, because I know you deserve it. And I'm having a good one, too, because I'm making some sawdust.